We're learning outside in the real world rather than having an indoor space that we bring the real world into. We're out and about learning what life is about in the real world.
What started it was working in an indoor setting. They weren't being creative, we had behaviour problems. We realised that we didn't need the toys, we didn't even need the room. All we needed was the outdoors and that we could put everything that we needed into a backpack and go off for the day, and we just realised how much they were learning from just what was around them.
Rather than being taken to a room and resources being brought into that room to teach them about the world and what it's going to be like to live in the world, everything that they need to learn is here already.
Please let me get my water out.
Turn around.
We're out for 6 hours every day.
They wear the right clothing. We just go out whatever the weather. In the winter we do a lot more moving around, a lot more walking, running races to keep warm, climbing the hills.
And lots of fires.
A lot of the time the adults are standing back and just observing the children and seeing what it is that they're interested in and how we can move that on. If they're interested in something, it's their innate curiosities about the world that is driving the learning. Someone might bring them a lobster to look at, or there might be somebody thatching a roof that the children will stand and watch. It might be snowing, hail, we've had all sorts.
Okay, pretend you're 4.5 and I'm 4.5. No, pretend you're 1.5. No, I don't want to be a little age. I'll be 3.
All of the children here know that they are looking after themselves, and so we would never help a child up a tree. They know that they've got to get to that point that they're able to climb it themselves before they'd even attempt it. We have far less accidents. It's very rare that they'll even fall over and graze their knee. It's because they know that they're not protected by the adults. They have to think for themselves.
They might watch the older children when they first start climbing a tree and really, really want to do it, but not be able to get up there and work on it for a long, long time. When eventually they are up there, they've got that sense of they've achieved it, and that transfers throughout life. You know, it's once they get to school, they're going to need to be able to persevere, they're going to need to do things themselves and not be put off by adversity.
I got some sea glass and water.
Have you?
Yeah.
We've had lots of people say that they'll spend a weekend with another family and that it's just very obvious that their child is much more physically able and confident compared to their friends' children who've been to a more traditional setting.
They're given them the space to make relationships with each other without an adult interfering in that and deciding what they'll do and how they'll interact. There's much less intrusion of the adults, and the aim really is for the children to feel that they are here on an adventure for the day and the adults aren't even there, they're not noticeable.
The adults inspire wonder and they let the children take the lead.
Why is it not a good idea for us to go?
Because we will be chilly.
It will be a bit chilly for us,
I know
won't it?
And you might be lost.
We don't have lots and lots of rules here. Any rule that we have got is there for a reason, and it's usually for safety reasons. So the children don't have that many things that they need to remember that they need to do. So it's always about their safety.
Can you tell me a bit more about it?
If we need a wee, we don't need to tell someone.
We might have found that someone fell off a rock that was a little bit too high on the beach, and then we'll sit the children down and discuss it with them and say, oh, why do we think this happened, and how could we change things, how could we make it safer for you and make sure that that doesn't happen again.
I think it is more widely accepted now that is a good way to go with children. It's really beneficial to them to be using real tools and to be taking those kinds of risks.
Fire lighting, they learn to whittle, so they start off whittling with vegetable peelers and move on to pen knives. Lots of work with ropes, knot tying.
Cooking on the fire.
When you're working with children in situations where other people might think you're putting them at risk, you realise that actually we're creating much more responsible individuals by giving them responsibility. If you could get somebody to design the best nursery ever, of course everything that we have here would be in that nursery. You'd have running water, the tide, the different weathers, the different environments that are just in this one little village, the people who work here. There's always something going on that the children can learn from.